Hello, welcome in, Mr. Smith. How are we feeling today?
I'm doing okay. I know I'm here because my doctor told me about getting help to reduce my chances for type 2 diabetes. I just don't know how much it is actually going to help me.
Okay, well, before we get into how it can help, can we talk about maybe some of the concerns that you might have that make you feel doubtful? I can see that you're coming in here because you're a pre-diabetic. And what are just some of the concerns or questions that you may have about that?
Well, truthfully, I did not really even think about diabetes as being a real thing. I know people say that they have it, but I've never really understood how it happens. Also don't really know what to do about it if it did happen.
Okay, so what you're telling me is you're not really sure what diabetes even is, and you wouldn't really know ways to change it either if it did happen. Is that correct?
Yes, it is.
Okay, well, if you don't mind, I'd like to give you this pamphlet about prediabetes and discuss how it can affect a person's body and life. Would that be okay?
Yes, that is fine.
So, as you can see here, prediabetes is where your blood glucose, also known as blood sugar levels, are too high. Your blood glucose is the main source of energy for your body, and that is all regulated from the foods that you eat. So, if your blood sugar is too high for a longer period of time, it can create something called insulin resistance. And if you don't know what insulin is, it's released from your pancreas, which is an organ in your body, and then it flows around your body through your bloodstream, and it goes to each of the cells to absorb sugar. This is really important because all of your cells need sugar to stay alive and keep your body energized. It also says that 1 in 3 people didn't even know that they actually have the condition. Do you have any questions so far?
Wouldn't it be better for me to have a higher level of blood sugar in my body so my cells can get more energy though?
Well, it's mostly important to have good levels of blood sugar because with too little blood sugar, your cells do not get enough energy. However, if you have levels of blood sugar that are too high, that would make it so that your body basically gets used to the insulin to the point where it resists it. That makes the cells not accept the insulin, and in turn, it would not absorb the sugar needed to keep them energized. So, having a healthy level of blood sugar is a good thing to have. There are risk factors that can make someone with higher blood sugar, kind of have worse symptoms. So do you know anyone in your family that may have had type 2 diabetes or high blood sugar before?
I'm not too sure, but I think that my grandma and my mom both had higher blood sugars.
Well, could you tell me just a little bit more about that, please?
Yeah. So I know that they always would get really tired a lot, even when we were not doing a ton of really physical stuff. Also, no, maybe it was just them getting older though.
Well, fatigue is one of the symptoms of prediabetes. And actually, it might have been them getting older, but as you said, you think they struggled with higher blood sugar, so it may also have been a symptom of that. Do you feel anything about yourself, any symptoms such as excessive hunger and thirst, fatigue, or even frequent urination?
I've actually noticed myself getting a bit more tired throughout the day, even when I'm just sitting down. And it's kind of embarrassing to say, but I do notice I use the restroom at least 3 or 4 times, even if I've not had a lot of liquids.
Well, first off, that's nothing to be embarrassed about at all. I think it's great that you can be honest about your symptoms with me because that means I can really try to find a way to help you out, if you're okay with that.
Yeah, I do think so. I want to at least try rather than give up.
All right, well, that's a fantastic attitude to have about it. I'll do whatever I can to try to help you reach your goals. So going off of that, let's talk about diet. First, what does your daily diet look like?
Well, I usually eat eggs and bacon with some toast in the morning. I also eat a lot of takeout when I go to work because it's easy for me to get and it's just fast. I eat the food my wife cooks me at home whenever I get back from work. Although I do like to sneak a lot of snacks in throughout the day.
Well, it's great that there's cooking going on at home because that's one of the first steps to reducing blood sugar levels. I know you mentioned having a wife. Do you go grocery shopping with her, or does she do all of the shopping usually?
I usually go with her whenever she goes on the weekends.
Well, that does sound like a great time. If you don't mind me asking, what does your average grocery cart look like whenever you guys leave the grocery store?
Well, my wife usually gets a lot of eggs, spinach, fruits, yogurts, and some other pretty healthy good foods.
Okay, well, can you tell me a little bit more about what you pick out at the store?
I'm a big snacker, so I usually pick out all the snacks we have in the house.
So, what kind of snacks do you usually pick when you go to the grocery store?
Honestly, I like my sweet stuff. I'll get cookies, especially the oatmeal cream pies from Little Debbie's. I get ice cream and 1 or 2 chocolate bars and some soda too. My kids love Pop-Tarts, so I get those for them. But I will grab a couple of them for myself too. I can't remember everything I get, but that is the stuff I usually grab.
Okay, well, let me just suggest something. What do you think that maybe it could be those sweeter snacks and getting takeout for lunch every day that could be causing the higher blood sugar, along with possibly genetics, because you did say that your mother and grandmother struggled with it as well.
I would probably have to agree with you because I already know that they are not healthy because my wife tells me that I need to cut back already.
Okay, well, what do you think would happen if you just try to kind of cut all that out completely, all the sugar and the takeout?
Honestly, I would not really want to because I have such a sweet tooth and I really enjoy getting to relax after work, eating my snacks.
That's completely fine to wind down and get a nice snack after work, but how about this? What do you think about maybe trying to eat the snacks in moderation and just cut back a little with some of them?
I mean, I could maybe try as long as I could still get to eat some of them.
Well, I think it's a great first step, and you seem like you have a really good supporter with your wife. I remember that you talking about how she cooks you dinner every night, and it seems like she gets some pretty healthy ingredients that she uses too. So, do you enjoy the food that she makes? And I promise if it says no, I won't say anything to her.
I do really like it. She makes some of my favorite meals actually.
Okay, well, that's great to hear. I bet she is a really good cook. So, how does your work environment look? Are there a lot of vending machines, or is there a place to microwave and store your food there?
There are a couple of vending machines with some candy and soda in it, but I usually don't end up getting them because I don't want to spend the money. There also is a break room that has 2 microwaves and also a fridge too.
Okay, well, how would you feel about this? You could ask your wife if she would pack you some food for lunch, and then maybe you could get some leftovers for dinner since you said it's so good. And then you could take that to work and heat it up whenever you're getting hungry instead of just going out and spending even more money on takeout.
That actually sounds like a pretty good idea. Since she makes such good food, I would be able to spend less because I wouldn't be having to buy takeout or fast food every day.
Okay, awesome. Now, I also remember that you said you like soda, which can often be packed with over 30 grams of sugar in a single can. Have you ever tried anything like a diet or a zero sugar kind?
I have tried some diet and zero sugar sodas, but it was a long time ago and I didn't really enjoy them the same amount as a regular one.
That's fine. I get that substitutes aren't always the same. But you did say that it was a while ago. Maybe you could just try to buy a small bottle the next time you're going grocery shopping. And, just try and see. Maybe you'll like it this time because it was a little while back.
I could try that, yeah, but I cannot guarantee I'll like it.
And that's completely fine. Remember, this is all about small changes over time and using moderation when it comes to eating snacks. So do you mind if I ask you what your day-to-day is like with getting physical activity in?
Well, I honestly don't really do too much because I have bad knees and I sit a lot at work.
Okay, I get that completely. My knees are not what they used to be either. I personally try to walk for at least an hour every day just to keep myself active and moving, and it's a lot easier on the knees than trying to go for a jog or even lifting in the gym. So, what would you say about just trying to get an hour of walking in for just a couple days throughout the week?
I think it could be possible, but I'm usually trying to spend time with my wife and kids after work.
Okay, well, do you live in a neighborhood that has safe streets or sideways to walk on?
Yeah, we have sidewalks around my neighborhood that I live in actually.
Okay, well, would you think that your wife and kids would be open to walking around with you so that, one, you could still spend time with them, and two, you could introduce yourself and them to having some activity from time to time?
Well, I could try to ask them. I'm not too sure if they would want to, but it doesn't hurt to ask.
Well, that is really great. I can tell you seem pretty open to try new things out. I think that your wife seems to support you pretty well, so it could be a very promising activity for you all to do together.
Yeah, I guess you are right.
Okay, so today we've covered a lot of good stuff in a short amount of time. We went over the cause of prediabetes and diabetes. We talked about some diet stuff and some ways to improve it as well. And trying to get exercise is a doable thing that is in your that you can get into your daily life. I think that you'll be on track in no time, and I had a great time talking with you today.
Thank you. I honestly feel pretty good about everything we talked about.
Now, before I send you off, would you be willing to meet again in about 2 to 3 weeks just to see kind of how everything's doing?
Yes, I think I can work that into my schedule.
Amazing. Great job today. I cannot wait to see you soon. Thank you for coming in.
Thank you.